That didn't work, did it? Screw it, I'll keep it in. Alright. I was trying to do a ballerina thing. I forgot to tighten up my belt before I. Anyway, welcome back to the road to Halloween Horror Month. Scotty, now we're going to talk about an episode of Eerie, Indiana today. Before we get to that, we need to add the next part to our background. So we have Annabelle here. Annabelle. Go right here. It's getting there. It's getting there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more pieces, including the shirt. So we're getting close. We're getting close. So let's go ahead and talk about this episode. Eerie, Indiana. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Eerie, Indiana, Eerie, Indiana was a kids' horror sci-fi show. It aired on NBC from 1991 to 1992, before the show was canceled. After airing only 18 episodes, the final episode didn't air till the following year, when it aired reruns on the Disney Channel. But that's not how I found it. The show aired reruns on one of the Stars or Encore channels, or Stars, I think. But I found it on Fox Kids. They started airing the reruns there. The show follows Marshall Teller, who he and his family had just moved to Eerie, Indiana, which is proclaimed to be the most normal place in the world. Bullshit. Because a lot of weird things happen in Eerie, Indiana. It's up to Marshall to save his new home. Hey, stupid Marshall. Made me look bad. Wait, that's the wrong show. No. Him, along with his best friend Simon, are trying to figure out all the weirdness in Eerie, Indiana. And despite this being the first episode, as we find out at the end, he keeps sort of token from each one of his misadventures as sort of a proof of the weirdness. But at the end of the episode, this token from this episode is not the first thing of proof. There's other stuff in there, so let's believe there was other adventures before this, even though they just moved there. But yeah, this is the Foreverwhere episode, the very first episode of the show, and this is one where, even if they're not familiar with the show, if you know the show, this is the episode you remember. There's some other ones I thought of. There's this one. There's the final episode, which is very close to the episode of the Twilight Zone that I did, the fourth wall breaking one. And there's also the Retainer episode with the dogs, which I thought of doing, but no. So we start in the kitchen we have the intro thing. I like this intro. Watch this intro on YouTube. It's there. It's real cool, nice and creepy. You got the music. It's really cool. We start in the kitchen, and Marshall is going through the fridge looking for leftovers that aren't nasty. It's like, yeah, clean your fridge, lady. But it's here that we get a knock on the door, and first of all, we see another one of my crushes. People are like, well, Kimberly or Kelly, and I'm like, what about the sister from Eerie, Indiana? People are like, who? That's Julie Condra, wife of Mark Dacascos. So I'm staying away or he kicked my ass. Or make me a very good dinner, I don't know. But yes, she was another one of my childhood crushes back in the day. She's a pretty woman. Walking down the street. She answers the door. We introduced to Mrs. Wilson, played by that lady. I believe she is one of the antagonists of the Alex Mack TV show. And her 2 sons, Bertram and Ernest. Yes, their names are Bert and Ernie. And so she introduces herself, and she wants to bring in Mrs. Teller to join the Foreverware family. It's this Tupperware that never goes bad. Like, yeah, like one lady later has Brussels sprouts from 1972 that are just fresh. Like, okay, you're keeping it fresh. Are you telling me that's been there from 1972 and it's fresh? You gonna eat that? It's how long does that have to be open before it starts to go? Right? I'm just saying. She brings. I have to say here that she does this because she's like, we want to bring you into the Foreverware family, and she brings this. It's a sandwich, locked inside. That's been in there since the 1960s apparently, and it's still fresh as they went in there apparently. And they do that, and they put it in the fridge. You know, it comes back later. But like, Marshall was immediately suspicious, especially after one of the boys shakes his hand and hands him a note saying yearbook 1964. So Simon checks out a bunch of yearbooks from the. I don't know why he needs to check out a bunch of yearbooks when he just needed the one from 1964, but he does say he checked out a bunch of them, where they find the two boys still the same age in 1964. But how can this be? Well, Marshall and Simon sneak over. And they find that she is putting the boys in giant Foreverware containers to keep them young. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Sorry, but you will suffocate if you are laying in a giant plastic thing. And we know that it's airtight because that's what they say. It's airtight, so nothing can get through and it keeps it fresh. Humans need air. They will not be able to breathe locked up in there. He keeps them. That's not when they go to bed at night. They do that. So it doesn't happen right away. Yet it's very confusing later because I don't know. But it just something happens later with Marshall. I'm like, yeah, wait a minute. You'd suffocate in a plastic rubber container trying to sleep in that. Because especially if it seals it up tight so the air can't get in or out, you're gonna suffocate after only a couple of hours. I don't get that at all. It doesn't make any sense. It's a kid's show. So what? Common sense doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so he sees this. This is also a weird episode because Simon's checking outside and he climbs up and he looks. And the mom's, Mrs. Wilson, sees him. He falls down and she just pops out. He's like, Marshall. They look up. She's like, and then that's it. That's it. She doesn't come after them. She doesn't yell at them. She just has an evil smile. It's in the opening for the. I don't know. But his mom, Mrs. Teller, is going to a Tupperware party, Foreverware party. Excuse me. And yes, Tupperware parties were all the rage in the 90s. My mom did a few Tupperware parties and stuff like that back in the day. Nothing like this. Didn't seal us in plastic containers at night. But yeah, my mom did some Tupperware containers. My grandma did them, back in the day. But yeah, they were all the rage in the 90s, for sure. Tupperware was the next big thing, and now, does anyone even talk about Tupperware anymore? I guess people still use Tupperware, but I don't know. Yeah, so during this little party that they're having, Marshall and Simon sneak over. Marshall crawls into the boys' window. The boys hear him, the thud. No one else does. This is a weird thing, too, because they're, like, trying to induct. So you got these women. I can only assume they're also just like, because they talk about how they don't have husbands. So it's like they're all widowed women or something. And I don't know. But or their husbands left or something. And to talk about all the stuff they talk about is they don't have any other families or nothing. And they're just like, the way they talk about it, well, since 1960 this, like, they're not that old. Like right? Because I'm assuming that the mother's age is supposed to be in the late 30s, early 40s. So, I don't know, I necessarily doesn't think about this, but like, yeah. So Marshall sneaks upstairs to hear thud, and the boys catch him. They're like, we need your help to stop our mother. And then Mrs. Wilson realizes something's going on, so she goes upstairs. I do like this scene, because like Marshall's gone. They put him inside one of the containers. He's like, what are you boys doing up here? Ernie had gas. Burp. Oh, well, yes. It's big you don't do that downstairs, but hurry up. I need your help in the kitchen. Yes, Mom. And so she leaves, and then Marshall, and he comes out of the thing like, yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to breathe in there. No. I don't understand that. That's a very good point. But, yeah. So, they need his help. And this is where the episode gets confusing. So that night, Marshall returns, climbs through the window, opens up their containers, and they're like, thank you, we'll take care of Mother. And you just hear, boys, number for everywhere. And that's it. Yeah. Mrs. Teller has decided not to go through with Foreverware because, well, there's a scene earlier where Marshall and Simon check out the sandwich and he leaves it a crack open. So now it's like gooey, dissolved green goop is what it is now. And maybe it's not the best. And so she's like, okay, we're going to go over, we are going to talk to Mrs. Wilson. So they go over there and knock on the door and no one answers. But then two grown-ass twin men, they're the twins from Terminator 2 and Gremlins 2. Those guys, those twins have been everything. And they're like, can we help you? We're looking for Mrs. Wilson. Oh, I'm sorry, she had a family emergency. They're moving away, I guess. She's like, oh, well, I had some paperwork. I ordered some Tupperware from her, and I wanted to. I changed my mind. Like, oh, we have some paperwork. Is this what you're looking for? She's like, it's exactly what I'm looking for. How about that? And then you see this old lady pop out. Boys, what's going on? She's like, nothing, Mother. Okay. So, just how long did they have to be? How long has it been since that night and now? Right? So how long did they have to be outside the thing before they start to age? Because if they go to sleep every night and then are awake in the day and outside the thing for at least 12 hours each day, you think it has to be longer than that for it to, right? For it to start to revert there. So how long have they been out without the Foreverware thing? Right? Because you like to believe that if it's cracked open, it's instantaneous. But with humans, it's something else, right? Because, like, you think if they were out, yeah, the human thing confuses me. Because it's like, you think they'd have to stay in there to stay that age. But if they're out for at least 12 hours a day, by the way, they say earlier about we don't like being just like to be in the 4th grade for all that time or whatever. And it's like 6th grade, whatever. Like, yeah, how do they explain that to the school? By the way, they've been living in the same neighborhood. Marshall's family is the new family. I don't know, but yeah, and then Marshall puts the nasty sandwich into his proof of weird things, which, yeah. I don't know. And that's how the episode ends. Yeah, a lot of more problems with this now, watching it this time. I see, but it's still not bad. Not bad, but still shit. No, it's not. It's not bad. But not bad, but not good. Uh, I don't know. It's a memorable one. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but you want to try to put the human thing in there, like if a sandwich can go rotten that quick, like it has been a couple days. Which, by the way, when they smell it in their fridge, there's so much crap in there anyway. I don't know, but yeah. So there you have it. So, what are your thoughts on this episode? In the comments, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Um, Thank you for watching. I've been Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.